man. Just you and me. 5 rounds, 25 minutes.
Welcome to
AFC, we in it.
welcome to episode 41 of A Fighting Chance. Very exciting episode. We have, of course, Sal, of course, me, and even more exciting, we have Abdias. How you doing, man?
Oh, wow. The reception. Calm down, kids. Doing good, brother.
It's great to
good
have
to
you
be
here.
here.
It's great to have you here.
It's been a while.
Well, I feel like this is a fitting episode. We hung out a year ago, for the Abu Dhabi card where Charles Oliveira fought Islam. And we got to watch that card together as a family, which was really fun. And then fast forward a year later, on my birthday once again, they're back in Abu Dhabi. And Volkanovski, one of our favorite fighters, gets to step up on like 11, 12 days notice. And how'd you guys feel about the whole event leading up towards that day, with finding out the opponent changes and then the way the day played out?
I like it. I thought I'm always in love with the unpredictable nature of the sport.
Yeah.
So when that, not only in the ring but outside the ring, like people dropping out and injuries last minute, this guy doesn't get a visa. Like there's so many things that can go wrong before the fight, not even mentioning the fight.
Right.
So I thought that made for an extra layer of build-up, which I really enjoyed.
Were you more excited for Charles or more excited when you found out that Alex was taking his spot?
Oh, come on. Bro. Who are you talking to, man? No, I love Oliveira, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
For me, I was definitely, I would say more excited for Volkanovski, but there was still like that hope that Charles was going to get it back after just, a year of
suffering.
Yeah, a year of suffering from that loss and his changes from, Neil. I just felt like we got the old Charles back and it was going to be good. I really did feel that way.
Is he out?
For the next opportunity? I don't know.
They're saying he's going to have to wait. Is the thing.
You think it's going to be Gaethje?
I think it's going to be Gaethje. Hey, look, because I don't know how quickly the cut's going to heal, and Islam saying he wants to fight before March, so because of Ramadan.
Well, I mean that's perfect. That's perfect for Oliveira. He's ready.
Yeah.
How long is this cut going to take to heal?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know how that timeline is, like how quickly he could get into camp. But I mean, if they can make that quick, then why not?
I think go with the original card. Go with Oliveira. Give him a shot. Everybody, that's a good fight. Gaethje's a good fight, but I think people want to see the Oliveira fight.
But they're also throwing out now Gaethje versus Oliveira 2 for an interim belt.
And Max, right? Isn't like Max trying to fight Gaethje?
Max threw himself in
that.
there, yeah.
I like that.
I like that fight. I'd rather watch that.
Gaethje says he wouldn't do it.
Islam and Gaethje.
He says he doesn't want to punch Max.
Come on, Justin.
I don't know. As a Max fan, I don't think I'd want to see that one either. That's a little...
Justin, come on,
That's
Justin.
scary.
Yeah.
Justin.
He could lose.
Yeah. That's... Gaethje...
Gaethje could lose?
He
No,
could.
Max.
I mean, it's a fight.
100%.
Yeah, it's a
100%.
It's a fight.
100%. I just think it's a really exciting... Something it's not something that you would automatically come up with as a fight. And I saw it on Twitter. I was like,
I mean, if
that is a good fight.
If he's a real BMF, he would take it. If the
Ooh,
belt.
Damn.
I'm just saying, like, you got the belt.
If he's a real BMF, he'll fight you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In the backyard.
Yeah, he's... Is this internet? Does this go to other people's homes? Do other people see this?
There's 4 people that
Calling
watch
out
this.
Justin Gaethje. Pretty bold.
But what would happen if Max wins? Does he get the shot at 155 for the belt?
Yeah. I mean, Gaethje is technically the number 1 contender if you take out Charles. Because he beat Poirier.
So, wait a second. Either, are we talking about ideal or are we talking about practical?
What do you mean?
Practical first.
Like, practical is, like, more likely to happen.
Yeah, let's go practical
versus,
first.
Yeah.
So
Gaethje beat... practical, I don't think Gaethje will fight Holloway.
No. Well, that's what I'm saying. He already said he doesn't want to... I guess he doesn't like that matchup.
But Charles would definitely be ready by March to fight Islam.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And I'm sure he wants it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, I think the only thing that is weird for people is having Islam's title reign right now being just 2 rematches.
I think that's why they want to do something else. I think that's why they're talking about the Gaethje versus Charles. But then I don't know what something else is. Like, those are the 2. I don't know. Because Islam fights basically once or twice a year. And that's early.
You really think that most people would think about that, like the 2 defenses being his thing? Like,
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think most
care.
I think maybe some MMA nerds may lose their shit, but
yeah.
But then
I don't think most people give a fuck.
Those 2 defenses are Volk. No one's beat Volk, and he did it twice, technically.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about, like, what's Volk's next year look like?
Off.
Yeah.
Off, right?
Yeah.
I think so too, and it's really making me, it's getting me bummed out.
Yeah, I'm not so bummed out. I think it's a good call.
Wait, you think he's going to take a year off?
I think so. I think he should take a year off.
I thought you were saying like his performances are going to be off, and he's like the downward slope.
No, I think that's why he needs that time off. I think I mean that from, like, you know, maybe the intensity he's been fighting at.
Yeah.
I don't mean like not fight at all, but take the year off in terms of, like, don't try to fight 4 times in a year, you know?
But he says he needs it.
Huh?
He says he needs the fights, like the fight camps and something to have.
Yeah, I think he'll figure it. I don't know Volk. Obviously,
right,
but he knows what's best for him. But I'm sure maybe down there somewhere there's a desire to just have something to aim for, and you know, maybe in this time he'll find something to aim for him that's not MMA, that's equally as takes up enough space in his mind and his heart to keep him happy.
I hope so, and I really do believe him when he says this was just a post-fight, like, really, really disappointment, like, moment, because it was such a big goal and it was such a, you know, high-risk moment for him that I really do believe him that it was like an emotional, like, pouring out, and I don't think it's like his general overall state.
No, and again, like, the fact that he did that, because he's lost before,
right?
And I've just never seen him that, like, vulnerable in a good way, I think, because he just kind of just laid his heart out. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe, I don't know. These are fighters, man. They're tough people, but they're still human beings. So I hope that when he does come back, he comes back sound of mind and body, not just like healed up and, you know, coming with a good energy and a spirit, because he looked pretty bad after that fight. He looked like he needed some time to regroup.
I saw Luke Thomas. He was talking about, because Volk says he wants January with Topuria. He says, like, it's almost free money right now to put, like, pick Topuria in that fight, because Volk's coming back so quick. He just got knocked out. Like,
I still think he smashes Topuria.
I think he smashes Topuria not 2 months from now. Like, I think that's what he meant. Like, he's just too soon physically, at least. Because your body will shut off. Once you start getting knocked out, your brain protects itself. So, I don't know. I think that's...
I knocked myself out this week with a medicine ball, so I understand.
But I don't know that he got knocked out like I mean, it's Usman.
It's more than he's ever been hurt before.
Sure. I don't dispute that, but I'm saying he didn't get knocked out like an Usman, like full head kick.
Right.
But I mean, his head, he was limp. Like, if you ever watch it,
he was rocked. There's no doubt about it. But I think UFC 10 years ago, they would have kept it going, and who knows what could have happened.
That was Herb Dean, and would have kept going. I think it was just...
Yeah, I don't think he was hit hard enough to, like, label that, or like, oh, he got knocked out. I think he got knocked down hard. He got rocked hard. And then, obviously, the ground and pound, they stopped the fight. But that was not it wasn't like an arm straight down, timber, you know, full-blown knockout. So I think he could come back and beat. I think it might be what he needs, and then take some time. He might need to, like, fight quicker than not, so that he could take a real break. Does that make sense, Jared?
It totally does. Not as many guys go to sleep anymore as I mean, it's not as common as you would think.
Yeah. That's why it's so exciting when they do.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, oh shit.
No, it really is. Like DC waking up after John Jones, like that is like a real moment, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen as often as you would think, though.
No, like the Masvidal, that was a straight knockout, you know?
Yeah.
Usman, straight knockout. Just some really crazy knockouts. And I think Volk could come back because it is not that far away. He could come back with all the energy from losing and kind of that redemption, you know, the redemption energy. Put on a great show, solidify his title, and then take some time and like really think through who's he's gonna fight next, and like not rush through the year was my point. I didn't mean take it off and literally. I just take the foot a little bit off the pedal. Is my point.
I like the thought of him having big fights at 155. Even if they're not for the title. Like, I like the idea of, like, Volk versus, like, you know, even Gaethje or Volk versus Dustin Poirier, I think would be an awesome fight.
Yeah. So, here's this. What if he comes, instead of January, which is very close, what about, like, March? And then you put Volk on UFC 300. What's bigger than that? And then he gets, like, more time.
Against who?
To Poirier. You know what I'm saying? You just move that fight up a couple months.
Yeah.
Because who...
I don't know.
Who would you put on 300 now? Izzy lost.
Okay, if you have Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor as the headliner, and then before that have Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway, that'd be a pretty big UFC 300.
That would be so sad if that's the headliner, Michael Chandler.
But how could it not be?
I just like really like out of all the champions and all the big fights, like Michael Chandler's headlining 300.
I think the only thing else would be like Drigas versus Izzy.
No, for 300.
I think they're gonna make Islam and Conor.
Yeah, I think DC was talking about that.
That's pretty awesome.
There's a backstory there that's really interesting.
Yeah,
and I think they're seeing that no one's that hyped about the Chandler fight.
And USADA's out of the mix by then.
Yeah, he's already technically like he has his test submitted and everything.
Oh, sure.
That's what they say.
I mean, Conor is big enough, for sure, to take on Islam.
Yeah. I don't think he'd do anything to him, though.
I think he would have to get very lucky.
Yeah.
I think so, too. And he'd have, like that Aldo fight, you know, the Jose Aldo fight. They both knocked each other out, but
right.
One of them got up quicker than the other.
I mean, look how Conor was looking against Dustin the last two times.
Oof, man.
So how's he going to look against Islam?
Yeah.
It would be so hilarious though if he's like 1-6 in the last 5 years or whatever. Hasn't won since Obama was president. Yeah. He comes back and it's like
well that's what makes it such an exciting fight. It's not so much if he wins or not, it's the possibility that he could.
Yeah.
And he's willing to get in there and try.
Yeah. Especially because, you know, he's not gonna get the Khabib fight again.
Right.
And smashing his boy would be the next best thing, and then kind of bait him too, you know, to see if Khabib comes back, and which he's not going to.
Power is the last thing to go too, so it's not. I mean, he does. There's a lot of people that have said Conor hits the hardest. Dustin said it. Eddie said it. Like he hits hard. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean he could pull it off. I doubt it, but he could pull it off.
Yeah.
I don't discount him ever.
So what about we talked about the top fight. What about Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev? What you think of that, Jared?
Ooh.
What'd you score?
Honestly, even a week removed, I say draw.
Draw.
I do. I do, and if I really didn't have to give it a score, I would say, man, I really wish it was 5 rounds.
Right.
That's how I feel.
That's a draw, saying that the first round was 10-8, then you gave the last two to Usman.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to Big John McCarthy describe 10-8 to Josh Thompson once again for like the 50th time, and that first round, like even him saying like all 3 judges giving it a 10-8, they got it right. That's the whole meaning for a 10-8 round. Like, of course, it's not like ultimate damage, but it's just, Kamaru wasn't doing any offense to, all offense by Hamza, and that's what a 10-8's there for. And I don't know. I haven't gone back and been like, I've gone back and watched like a few videos breaking it down on YouTube, and I think that Kamaru's landing harder and heavier shots in the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, I like what you said about the 5 rounds. It's definitely, honestly, they could rebook that fight at 185 main event.
I think they should, because I don't think Hamza should get a title shot after that by any means. And I think everybody would be down for a main event 5-round fight of those two.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, this is coming from a guy who I've never given Kamaru any respect. If anything, I've just trolled him and made stupid, idiotic jokes. And now I'm like, no, I'm a fan. Like, he won me over for sure.
Ian Wedrick?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm a fan, but I definitely have respect because
a fan of the last 2 weeks. Like a fan, meaning like he could continue to win me over for the next go around, and we'll keep riding it until he loses me again.
They're also talking about
something dumb.
Him and Whitaker at 85.
I like that too.
What do you think of that, Dad?
What do you think, Abdias?
I think Usman is, he was a solid champ, man, and watching him against Hamza was the way to kind of find out what Hamza was really made of. And so the fact that he didn't dominate Usman didn't really surprise me. It's the highest competition he's faced. Usman is that good to make Hamza look like he didn't do enough or he didn't do much. It's just he's that good. He's strong. He's a great wrestler. He's a good striker. I don't know. I think it kind of played out like it was supposed to, which is Hamza had his holy shit moment. Like, this is what it's like to fight champions.
Right.
So I don't know that it was draw. I think definitely Hamza had more control time. He looked like he got his shit together quicker than Usman could. And figure out a game plan that would at least, secure him the win. So I don't think he dominated by any chance, but I think it was a legit win for him. And I'm excited to see him fight for the title. I'm excited to see him face only championship level fighters and see how long this thing lasts. See if the hype is real. But so far so good. I just think the expectation of somebody coming in and fighting a world champion like Usman without going through the ranks properly. It's just, come on.
For sure, but Usman's a 170 champion, and I just don't think Hamza, he's missed weight at 170, but now we're just going to be like, okay, cool, you beat a 170 or who of course is considered one of the greatest of all time. But why do we get to give him a 185 title shot over that? Because my thing is I mean, put him in there against Paulo Costa. I don't think he would have had that first round the same.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, it's a different dynamic. Usman being the smaller guy or the lighter guy or whatever it may be gives him a different advantage in a different way. He's going to be faster. He's going to, all the advantages of the smaller guy. So a fight is a fight, man. Like, nobody in the street at the end of the day is like, hey, how much do you weigh? And these guys,
for sure.
And these guys, I mean, what does Usman walk around at? Probably the same that Hamza does. Yeah. So
but not the same as Paulo Costa.
No, but again, this is a very different body type, a very different fighter, you have to go tit for tat. Like, how does Hamza do with Usman? How does Hamza do with Costa? And we can't compare how he would do with Costa the way that he would go, because it's just a whole different fight. It's a different set of skills. The fact that he kind of out-wrestled Usman, I don't see Usman having problems out-wrestling people at 185 at all. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to do really well. And that Hamza stood his ground, that says a lot to me. That's like, oh wow, even if he's a 170 guy in the ring, he's a big dude. He could easily fight at 185. I'm not shocked that he would. It's good. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I think what you're saying makes sense in terms of Costa cutting down to 185 is fucking nuts.
Right.
But Costa's going to be slower. He's going to be. This is a different fighter. That's Yeah. It wouldn't have been as dynamic as Usman in him that was a dynamic fight. It flowed really well.
I also want to know how bad his hand was for the.
Yeah, I
for
watched
round
a
2 and
video.
3.
I think it was when
he broke his
when he
hand.
slammed, or when it was when he like jumped to get him off of his back. I think when he braced, he put his arm down and it just hit his wrist. Like he braced with his wrist.
But if he had a broken hand the last 2 rounds, I can give him a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
Like if he didn't really have a broken hand, then it's like, okay, maybe his gas tank is a little still suspicious.
He looked, I wouldn't say distracted, but he didn't look like Eye of the Tiger like he normally does. There was something off, and we can't tell if it's a mental thing or what's going on in the ring. But now, after mentioning the hand, like, made more sense to me. It's like, oh, he just looked a little bit more, not as convicted to like just go in there, and he was a little bit cautious, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it hit him
Not
like
about
this is
Usman.
high level. But also his post-fight speech, I mean, he didn't even talk about the fight. He just started talking about all the stuff going on. So maybe it had him off his game.
That was on his mind too. Yeah, I think that was a great speech he gave. I was shocked that he did that. I think it was, especially from him, that was a good look. Yeah, I was saying in the beginning, you mentioned that it'd been a year since we watched the fights at your house. I realized it'd been a year.
Yeah.
So,
A whole
wow,
year. A whole year, man.
that's nuts, dude. It feels like it was just yesterday. We were on your couch,
suffering together.
yelling, suffering.
Sorry.
No, it was just like every fight we wanted to be good sucked, and then it was just sad because Charles lost.
Charles lost. You guys definitely didn't feel like Sean O'Malley won in that moment. I remember that.
In that ever.
Ever.
So it's your 1 year anniversary.
It was on Monday. Monday was
Awesome, man.
It was a busy weekend for sure. It was the
Congratulations.
birthday. Thank you. It feels good. Made it that first year.
And you really clumped things together. How you got the birthday in there, you got the wedding anniversary in there.
So kind of want to pick the date so I didn't ever have to worry about forgetting. I felt like that was best for me.
Very selfless of you.
Yeah.
I would like to bundle our anniversary right next to my birthday. That way, it's not doubling
Long time. No, it's not. I don't care about the birthday. I just know that that's coming up, so I know that we got married that weekend. So I'll never forget because I don't care about the birthday anymore.
Of course you care about the birthday. You gotta care about the birthday.
Do you care about your birthdays?
I didn't before I had the stroke, but after having the stroke, I can't wait to celebrate my motherfucking birthday.
Dude, that is well said.
Yeah.
So I just need to have go through something like that, and then I'll care about my birthday again.
I did it though historically.
Yeah.
I mean, the milestone ones when I turned 40 and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
when I turned 21, but normally every year it's just like it's not a big deal. But I think it is. It's just it should be. I think it should be a big deal. Not in the why haven't you bought me something or why aren't my friends planning a party kind of way, but in yourself to take if anything to take that day and kind of just really soak that in.
Leave it to you to say something so wise that I just feel like I gained something now, and I feel like I didn't put any value into my day. So maybe next year I will.
But maybe you can do a post birthday. No, do a post birthday. Take one day this week. I mean, I don't think anybody else would know.
Yeah.
Birthday week. We have at our house. It starts birthday, and then it turns into the birthday weekend. And we're like, "What's your birthday week?" It's like, "Well, it's your birthday month." It's a way of extending the celebration.
No, now that I got the little one on the way, I only care about his birthday.
Yeah,
that's all I care about.
The little one.
Yeah.
The little one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
El Chiquito Volk Jr.
Lil V.
Lil V.
It's a good name.
Lil V, yeah.
Well, this weekend, there's no fights, or UFC fights, but there is Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. What do you think of that? You excited? Not really.
Exciting is not the right right word. I'm definitely gonna tune in. If I mean Tyson's the best, so I don't. I know Francis can get a knockout. I just boxing events don't do it for me. Like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, you click on the press conference and it seems like something from 60 years ago. Like it just seems so old school compared to like the UFC and like the entertainment aspect of it. Of course, I will say John Fury is always entertaining, so him being anywhere is good. But
perhaps the greatest name ever.
John Fury,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty solid. But he's got. I mean, him going back and forth with Mike Tyson is. I don't know. So it's definitely better than him going back and forth with Dylan Dennis. So. I like it. I don't know. I mean, do you guys think Francis is going to get it done?
I don't think so. But like you said, I'm interested, so I'll tune in. But I think it's the whole thing is kind of dulled down just because it's not a pro fight. Like it's an exhibition bout. So I think if they had made it a real fight, at least like on paper.
Yeah,
It would have sold a little different, but it's just it's just like we're doing this for fun kind of thing. And then they booked the Usyk fight in December, which is a little disrespectful.
I think they're still going to go out there and try to knock each other out, though.
Yeah, but then if he beats him, he doesn't get any of the belts. He doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, you beat me. He's gonna just say it's an exhibition.
I think Ngannou can get it done, and I love Tyson Fury. And I legitimately can get it done. Can knock him out. But just because of a couple of things, without going down a rabbit hole. But the first is the Ngannou's character, like his story and what that guy's been through and what he's overcome. Even in his fights, you said the evolution. He's always kind of been tricky. You never know what he's going to pull off, but I just think he's just one of those guys that if he really wants to do something, he's going to get it done. And he also has obviously the physique to do it. He's got the mindset to do it, and he's got an amazing fucking corner. Like, look at who he has in his corner that was training him this whole time. Like, the best of the best. So if he's as coachable as he seems, and he had a corner like that, for boxing specifically, I think he can get it done. I think he goes in the Mike Tyson route. He's going to want to get it done, first, second round. And then after that, if it doesn't happen, oops.
Yeah.
Because after that, he's gonna gas out compared to Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury, his volume is ridiculous. I love watching that dude fight. It's crazy. But first 3 rounds, I think, are pretty crucial for Tyson Fury to make it through those 3 rounds, and then I think it's for sure Tyson Fury.
Are you guys gonna watch? Are you guys gonna watch live or just catch a clip afterwards?
I think I'm
probably.
Working.
Yeah, it probably depends on what Sal's doing.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's at a good time. I like a daytime fight. I like not having to stay up till midnight to watch.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about the rest of the card.
No.
So
I didn't even know there was a rest of the card.
I think it's pretty stacked with heavyweights.
Yeah. Oh, so speaking of heavyweights, and we can, if you want, cap this off after this. But John Jones pulls out of UFC 295. Tom Aspinall, Sergey Pavlovich interim championship.
It's better this way.
Yes.
That's my take. I'm very excited. I was, of course, excited for John. That was a huge fight. But I think that this is the fight that the real division needs.
What do you think about it, Pop?
I think it's time for some new blood up there, and I think Aspinall is an absolute animal. I think he takes it. Another John Jones fight, I'm good, man. Another Stipe fight, I'm good. Like, I get it. Get your paydays. This is what they do for a living, whatever. But in terms of, like, being excited to watch John Jones right now, not really. To watch Stipe fight, not really. Not compared to like Aspinall.
What if it was against one of those guys? Like say Tom Aspinall wins and they bypass the Stipe fight. They do John and Tom. That interests you?
For because of Aspinall, yes.
Gotcha. So
I guess I'm not as interested in the opponent as I am in watching Aspinall fight.
I like that.
Right.
Hey, we saw what Sergey can do live in Orlando.
Yeah, we
crazy.
did. And potentially the greatest crowd ever to go to an MMA event.
They're saying they're going back to Orlando.
I don't know if they would. He has an 86-inch reach. With that kind of power and that kind of counter-striking, I think that's going to be pretty tough for Tom.
But then you can say the same thing about Tom for Sergey.
With what?
His speed, like usually Sergey's able to just kind of ambush people. Tom has great footwork. He reads things very well. He has great grappling. Like Tom Aspinall moves like a middleweight.
I think he's going to need the grappling.
I think he'll mix it in like he always does. Like he's never too heavy on one. Maybe the last fight, but
I don't think there's enough Aspinall fights to know what this guy's going to do with this guy.
I agree. But I do think he rushes in and leaves his chin open. So I do think he could get caught.
Easily.
But then
That's a possibility.
Vice versa that works too. There's
Yeah.
barely anything on Sergey because he finishes fights so quick.
Yeah, but his style is you get the picture pretty quick.
Yeah.
Of what's gonna go down when he fights. He's not like a versatile guy. You know exactly what he's gonna go in there to do, and he's been very effective at it.
Got good boxing.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying I'm more interested in Aspinall, seeing what he can do. Like just put him up against different casts and see what he can do.
I think if everything that is talked about with Tom Aspinall is true, I think he's gonna just beat his ass. Like technically, it's 5 rounds. So he'll have time to, work the leg kicks, like break him down and show that he's high level, not just, I don't know though. It's a 50-50 fight for me.
Abdias, Yuri versus Alex. Who you got?
Alex.
Nice.
Boateng.
Yeah, Boateng. All day. All day. I find Yuri entertaining and whatnot, but I was never like a huge fan of like the fighting style. I thought it was kind of quirky and irresponsible to a certain extent. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this isn't. It's not the Matrix. Like you're gonna face physical objects moving around like that. It's not branches of trees, and I don't know. I just thought it's a really, really ballsy thing to be that wacky against
anybody.
Yeah, man. It's sparring, sure, or some,
right.
Why not? But, even if he decided to do Muay Thai, he'd be an interesting Muay Thai fighter. And maybe he would do stuff there. But in MMA, dude, you can't be doing that shit. Like, Jair is probably one of the few people that can pull off stuff like that.
But he doesn't do it sloppy like how Yuri does it.
I was just gonna say he's not, fighting shadows and shit. He actually understands angles.
Yeah.
And like that guy's a mathematician. But Erie's more like a flow from the trees, and like no, that's it's just like fighting a blanket. No, it's not. It's nothing like fighting a blanket.
I keep seeing clips of Yuri getting chinned by left hooks. And that's all I can think of. Like, he does some weird movement and Alex throws the left hook and it's out. That's it.
I think Yuri's an interesting martial artist. I think MMA is mixed martial arts. It's just different.
Do you know what fight I really want? After Alex beats Yuri, and then Alex versus Jamal, which I really want. The fight that I want besides that, which is a great one of wildness, is Johnny Walker versus Yuri.
Yeah. I think Yuri wins that one.
That's wacky on wacky.
Yeah. I like it, though.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it too. That's Dumb and Dumber. Fight.
So you don't think they should rebook him in Ankalaev?
No, dude.
No.
Let Ankalaev figure it out.
Yeah, I think Johnny Walker passes Ankalaev based off of that.
What do you? I guess we can cap off with this. What did you think of that? Should it have been a DQ win for Johnny Walker instead of a no contest?
Yes.
Like, what is now that's sending the message that you can illegally strike someone in a fight and you're not gonna lose. You're not gonna lose any of your purse. Like, you're gonna.
I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you how the rest of the fight was going to play out, but I do think that Johnny Walker was getting the better of Ankalaev, and I think even in that position, Johnny Walker was getting out of it, and that's why that knee was thrown.
It's very unfortunate. I mean, that would have been a pretty massive win for Johnny, and just ruined it.
I really believe that Johnny Walker was going to win that fight. Like, even before, I didn't think there was any way Ankalaev was going to win that fight. Even though his striking is incredible, I think that there's sometimes where you just get that feeling for a fighter, and I think Johnny Walker's had that like the last 3 fights, and I think that I like the top 4 being Alex and Jamal Hill and Yuri and Johnny Walker right now. I think that's the most exciting for the division without like no, that's what I think. That's what I think is the top 4 for that division.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I was going to say that other guy, but I totally forgot his name. It's been so long.
At 205?
Yeah, Alex. What's the other Alex's name?
Oh, Rakic.
Rakic, yeah. He's exciting. He's exciting. Where's he been? Still healing?
He tore his ACL.
No, I know, but that's like... He's got to be pretty close to being ready.
It, pussy.
I'm not saying get over it. I'm saying he's got to be close to being healed.
Probably, yeah.
I think Costa should go fight 205 and stay there.
Yeah. You could do Costa and like Jan or something.
Costa and Johnny Walker would be fun.
Yeah. 2 crazy Brazilians.
I don't know. Yeah, I like that too, but I think Costa can still do really well at 185 if he's still... If he can make the weight and it's not...
That's a crazy cut. That's a crazy cut, dude. This guy's big.
Yeah, he's cutting probably 30, 40 pounds.
He's big, man. And he moves well.
Yeah.
You know, even when he's big. Like, I think 185 is just... It's lunacy. Such enormous strain on the body. When he's still probably... as quick, as effective at 205 as he would at 185, but it's just obviously fighting bigger dudes. But
yeah,
I think he could. Yeah,
the Marvin Vettori fight really threw me off because there hasn't really been that many Paulo Costa fights in a long time. So you got like Marvin Vettori to go off of, and Luke Rockhold is like all you really have. So it's. And I think he's better than both those fights.
Yeah, I think those were bad showings, and he still looked pretty good. Like, I think the Vettori was just a case of Vettori having the hardest head known. Like, he ate maybe 4 or 5 head kicks just full on.
But Vettori won the fight.
I know, I'm saying Vettori ate head kicks and stuff. Like, stuff that most people would have been out and just kept going. So it's like he just ran into a brick wall with that one. And the Luke fight, there was the altitude thing. And, like, I think people underrate Luke in terms of his skills. So
I think that was just a wild card of a fight. It was such a weird fight.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of like Yoel Romero, man. He went in at 185 too, but that was nuts. He should have been fighting at 205.
That made no sense at all.
I kind of put Costa and Romero in that category of if they had only just gone to 205. Who knows? Who knows how long? Because then you're again, it's the 185ers are going to be faster. They're going to be, and if you're somebody that can do 185, no problem. You just have an advantage because your body didn't take that torture that these guys take. The depletion of their body. Your body thinks you're going to die because it's depleting itself. It's a trauma to the body. However you look at it, however healthy they do it, it's a trauma to the body to drop that much weight that quickly.
For sure.
And I think people overlook that too often in terms of how the fights play out. So I think Acosta at 205 would eliminate a lot of the bullshit that we've seen at 185. 205 puts him in a good spot.
I like it.
I like it. Probably to get farther than he would at 185.
Yeah, he can fight more often. Like,
yeah.
maybe 2-3 fights a year instead of one.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, he would be fast. He would be just as dynamic.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, because a lot of people are shifting now.
Well,
Yeah,
cool,
people forget how
guys.
much of a prospect he was, like prior to the Izzy fight. Like he was smashing everybody.
Years ago. That was years ago at this point.
Yep.
No, I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of hype around him, and then it died down. It's crazy how, like, thinking back to that point, like, this guy looked unbeatable, and now he can't even fight.
That's usually how it is.
Yeah.
All right, because there was no concrete answers from us. Who fights Sean Strickland next? I want the answer.
It's
Wasn't
looking like,
Hamza fighting him?
well, I think they're moving away from that. I think Jared Cannonier just got hurt. Hamza, because they ranked him like number 9. I don't think they were, like.
It was literally promised, and now after the fight, they're totally
They're like backtracking.
Yeah,
Really?
And Izzy's out a year. Jared is hurt.
so
They're not gonna get. So I think they're forced.
that's ridiculous.
I think they're no. I'm saying in terms they don't want to give Dricus a shot. It's clear. The fact that they even mentioned Hamza getting the shot is saying that they don't want to give it to Dricus. But with this situation, there's no one else to give it to but Dricus.
Who else has done what he did to Robert Whittaker?
No one,
Exactly.
unfortunately.
Don't hate on Rodriguez. He's the
I'll
best.
try.
He's the best.
Yeah, I don't think he should be punished beyond the punishment that he already had. Like, he lost that fight and he didn't get it back. That's a done deal. He's not fighting Izzy for a while. So that was a lost opportunity for him. That was a good money fight, good stage. So he kind of shit the pot on that. But should he be back in fighting again? 100%. Like, that would be a really good fight. I want to see that fight.
And then that works out.
versus Rodriguez.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it cancels each other out. I think.
Going forward.
Well, yes, but I think Dricus, the intensity level is way different than Sean's. Sean's is like a buzz in front of you, like a
Nonstop.
yeah, like a buzz, maybe like a drill or something. But Dricus is a jackhammer.
Right.
It's constant, but it's aggressive and it's just different. He's not gonna box. He's gonna do that weird thing that he does that looks awkward. I still see Sal and I have spoken about this at length. And I was telling Sal, I'm like, this guy has a style that is more on the line of Bruce Lee than everybody gives credit for in terms of the way is no way. He figured out, or they figured out, him and his camp, they figured out a fighting style that is very misleading to the opponent because it looks unorganized. It's nothing like Yuri. Yuri doesn't have a system. It's just a bunch of random shit. Like, these guys, they have a system. They're I think they're a lot smarter than people give them credit for on how they can create chaos and control it. So I don't know, man. I think Dricus is one of those dudes that the hype is real.
Yeah.
And his style is going to be something that people are going to start looking at and going like, oh, maybe as crazy as it looks, that shit is effective as fuck.
Yeah.
So I want to see that fight. I want to see Sean and Dricus for sure. That is going to be an exciting fight, and I think Sean could get knocked the fuck out. Like, I really think that's highly possible.
He's never done great with heavy pressure like it happened with Alex. It's just it doesn't give him enough time to start making his reads because he fights very intelligently to beyond all the crazy shit he says. He's got a high fight IQ, and if he can't get in that rhythm, like you said with how he just comes at you.
I just think Rodriguez can outmix martial art him.
Yeah, I agree. And remember, Sean is the guy that spars all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And fighting is not sparring. So, like in the ring, it's very different from the sparring. That's the thing that could really make Dricus. I don't know, man. It's like I don't see somebody enjoying sparring with that guy.
No, exactly. Well, you can't spar the way he's going to end up fighting.
No, exactly. That's what. Yes, thank you. You articulated that way better than I did. But I don't think what Sean has applies in this
Yeah.
in this case.
No, because Sean's in there getting reps. If somebody was in there sparring like
Yep.
Drigas, they wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I spar 5 times a week.
Exactly. It's not sustainable in a sense.
No.
And who would want to spar you?
Right.
You know. So yeah, because it's literally trying to knock your head off all the time. And also bringing in the wrestling and grappling, and I mean it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. It's really like a nightmare kind of fighter.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare kind of fighter, I think. And yeah, it sucks because I really wanted to see Izzy and him fight.
Drigas.
Yeah, and I don't think, I was gonna say I don't think that's completely out.
No, I mean if Drigas wins. Izzy says he wants to take some time off. We don't know how long that could be, but you could easily throw Izzy back into a title fight with Drigas if Drigas is champ.
Fortunately, it doesn't make any sense that you can, but they really would do that.
Oh yeah. I mean we're talking about throwing Conor in with Islam. That doesn't make any sense, but it's just you know,
any kind of semblance of common sense in terms of you know, historically what is the way that things are done, that's all out the window. It's been out the window for a long time.
Yeah, since Instagram started, that's been out the window.
Pretty much. Yeah.
He has 7 million followers. We could put him in for the title.
But you know, I think Izzy's ego cannot take that much time off.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think he as a person probably can. I don't think he's a lot of what he projects. But his ego cannot take the year off. It won't allow him.
And I don't think his ego is getting into any other fight besides Drigas or a title
100%.
fight.
100%. I agree with you.
He's a fan of the sport. He knows how easily and quickly you will be forgotten. Like, think about how many legends we've seen.
Who are we talking about?
Izzy. I'm saying it's just in MMA. It's good one. You got me. I'm gonna stop. That was good.
Izzy.
Yeah,
I'd love to see Izzy versus Robert Whittaker again, but I just don't think his ego is going to allow that.
You know, I think the guy that could beat Drigas, and maybe I'll get hate for this, but I think Jared Cannonier genuinely could give problems to Drigas. I think just on a strength.
I'm not going to give you any hate for that. I think that's.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying other people because they don't rate Jared as highly as he should be.
I think you could eliminate every other Jared fight and just leave the last one.
Yeah.
And then let that speak, because that was like peak potential.
Yes.
Peak potential.
And
if that Jared shows up to anything, dude, people are getting smashed, including Drigas.
100%. He's going on. I think he'll be 41 this year or 40 this year. Also,
I think he's like turning 40.
Yeah,
he might be like 39, something like that. But I mean, he's only looked better. Is what's crazy. He hasn't really slowed down. It's not like he got beat badly. A lot of people say he won the Sean fight. The Izzy fight was barely a fight. Like they just stared at each other.
You know, it's interesting to look at that dynamic between the physical aspect of being older and your body changing and all those kinds of things, but also the mental side. And I wonder how sometimes people that can't sustain the body to a workable place, maybe it's not as sharp as he was when he was 25, but at 40, they're in the best shape possible. But they're also 40-year-old men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The mind is different. And I wonder how much of the disadvantage on the physical side of not being a 25-year-old, the mindset of the 40-year-old makes up for that, because they're just in a different place. They're more centered in themselves going into that ring. And so I think Jared's one of those guys that has been centered for a really long time. And to see that, you saw that in the fight.
Yeah.
In the fight, you saw a guy that was centered. Like, it was a beautiful, beautiful performance. Like, holy shit, world class. And I don't give a fuck if he's 40. I don't think it plays a part in this at all.
No, it's actually probably helping him.
If it did, he wouldn't be in this spot right now. Like, we wouldn't be talking about him.
That's what I'm saying. I think the fact that he is at 40, the way he is, it's even more dangerous at 25.
I mean, look at Glover.
With the mindset he has.
Like what you were saying about being centered. Glover was so efficient with what he does every fight, And he did the same thing to every single. It doesn't matter what style you bring or how hard he is. He's gonna employ. He's gonna put his game plan on you, and he's gonna get it done. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just what it is.
It's just what it is.
Jared Cannonier, boy,
that's the man.
I think he's fighter of the year in my opinion. After that fight, talk about a leap.
Yeah, he broke records. It was like the strike record for middleweight.
Yeah,
significant. Talk about a leap. Talk about a leap.
Yeah.
Of a performance leap of like coming in and rocking 7 and 8 level of fights to like a 100.
And Abdias,
holy crap!
That's my point. Of you can't have Hamzat jump a guy like Jared to get a title shot at the middleweight division.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But again, those are the rules out.
Right.
Those are the rules that you and I abide by.
No, you're right. 10 million followers on Instagram will do that for you. So.
Yep.
To Jared's probably like 600,000. Like we live in an annoying world with that, where that matters.
Now, to your point, look at the problem he had with Usman.
Yeah.
How is he going to handle Jared, dude? This guy came down from heavyweight.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, that's my point. I think that's a great fight.
I think the next fight, because Jared did just get hurt, so he's out for a couple months. I think you do him and Bobby Knuckles too. Let the whole title picture, resolve itself. Because that was close. That was a very close fight. That's the only fight I've seen him like really struggle in.
I said give Dricus his fight. Cannonier gets his fight, his championship.
So you're saying just get a shot, no fight in between.
No.
I thought he should have got the shot. Just like I don't know why they booked him and Roman. I thought they were going to book him and Jared, or him and Sean.
Disrespectful.
I think Jared won that fight with Sean Strickland. I don't think Sean won that.
Well, he did win the fight.
I'm sorry. It was the other way around, right?
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to agree with decisions.
I had it all mixed up. Sean O'Malley beat Piotr Jan, and I will stand by that.
Yeah, no, he did win the fight. It was some people thought that Sean won. Sean thought he won, so there's that.
I didn't think Sean won.
Sean looked
a close
very
fight.
Yeah,
it was a close, boring fight. Like it was kind of a toss up.
But then we saw like what they were saying about the kind of matchup that Sean is. That is like it's so confusing at first. He was able to bypass that and get it done. So a win over a champ is a win over a champ.
The thing that's disrespectful about giving Jared to Roman Dolce is Marvin beat Roman.
Yeah.
Marvin beat Roman, and then Jared did what he did to Marvin. That doesn't make any sense.
Not at all.
They really screwed him over.
I'm telling you, man, go for the title. Done. There's just no conversation.
And I'm saying this. I really like Jared when he, talks about crystals and everything. I listen. I just don't think he does. I don't think he does himself any favors on the mic in interviews or anything as far as the entertainment side of UFC goes. He wins over people like us who like real humans, but other than that, like it's just not. I don't think he's winning over a large fan base.
I grant you that. That's undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, in terms of the actual sport, where the talking happens is in the ring, and that last performance made up for all the lack of anything he had on the microphone. It didn't matter, man. Like, holy shit! Whoever watched that fight that didn't know who Jared Cannonier was, you know now. And I think if he can continue to do that, I think it could help him, and it could play into his whole like maybe shutty
silent killer.
Just don't do the mic thing because it's not your thing and people don't get it. That's fine. Be the silent warrior. Keep doing what you were doing in there. I think Cannonier did what Yuri would love to do. Yeah,
it was beautiful.
It was beautiful, man. It was. I still get excited thinking about that fight. Holy that! I can't remember, Jared, a time where I've been that like,
holy shit,
That's
impressed.
awesome.
That's the word. Impressed by a fight. Going, wow, man. Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Just art. Absolute. They put the art in martial arts that night. It was a beautiful match. Give him the title fight.
All right, I like it.
Well,
This has been awesome. I think that's a great way to end this.
give him the
Yeah,
shot.
man. Sorry for taking up your whole show here. I thought I was just gonna do a little segment.
You didn't take anything up. It was awesome.
Is an apology I never want to hear, Abdias.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I love talking to you, man. I love talking to you.
Likewise, Papa.
Yeah, ma'am. Papa.
That's right.
Sal, thank you, ma'am. Abdias,
Sure.
thank you. You guys.
Thank you, brother.
I'll talk to you guys tomorrow during the Tyson Francis fight.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
Much love to the family over there.
Yeah, you guys too. Have a beautiful night.
You too, buddy.